Ah, hello everyone, the Cider Drinker here, and today I've got something a little bit different for you guys. For you see, a little while ago I took to social media to ask you guys if you had any questions for me, and lo and behold, some of you guys did. So I am going to be doing a Q&A video for you guys today, and yeah, hopefully I can answer your questions that you put forward to me. So I actually think all of them were on Facebook, so if I do miss out anyone, then apologies. I will maybe put that on the next Q&A video that I do in the future, so watch this space. But anyway, shall we get this Q&A ball rolling, eh? So, let's go down the list, and let's start off with the question from Jack Clegg. He asks, do you think the Weston's Vintage tastes a bit more syrupy and less okay since it's become more popular? Maybe they're having to rush the process to supply the demand. I still drink it all the time, smiley face. I'm going to be honest, Jack, I've not actually tried Weston's Vintage for, God, it's got to be years actually. I can't actually remember the last time I did it, but it was probably the last time that I reviewed it, so that's got to be a good 3-4 years ago. However, I am definitely going to take your question on board because, do you know what, I really did like the older Weston's Vintage. It's probably one of the better ciders that you can buy off the shop shelves for me personally, and I think it is still 8.4% unless they've meddled around with the ABV, which they have done for a lot of other ciders. I'm looking at you, old Rosie. I'll be doing a video on you soon. But yeah, I shall definitely take this comment on board, and I will let you know whenever I try it in due course. So yeah, thanks Jack for the suggestion. Now, James Harrop has asked, have you thought of doing a month of 0/low alcohol ciders? See if you can find one with a cidery taste which doesn't taste of strange apple juice. I have sort of given that some sort of consideration, James. Unfortunately, a lot of the low alcohol ciders I've done, I've already sort of reviewed for the channel, because even though low and no alcohol ciders seem to be going up in popularity at the moment, there still isn't that many to warrant doing sort of like a whole month for them. And not only that, but pretty much all the ones that you can get in the supermarket I've done already, so it would probably be having to go out to cider producers and actually, you know, trying those ones out. But to be fair, I don't think there's many out there. I know I've not tried Crafty Nectar's low alcohol cider yet, so there's definitely that to consider. However, if I do come across 3 or 4 low alcohol ciders that I've not done yet, I will definitely put them to one side and see if I can do them. I do actually have a Thatcher's Zero that I'm going to try. However, obviously Dry January has now been and gone. Although I suppose if this goes sober for October, I think the date runs out before then, so I'm definitely going to have to try before then. So yeah, I will definitely take that into consideration. You never know, I'll do my sourcing about. If I can find 3 or 4 low alcohol ciders I've not done before, I shall definitely consider doing a month of 0/low alcohol ciders. So yeah, watch this space, James, and thanks for the comment. So, Neil Holmes has actually asked 2 questions because for some reason my post posted up twice. So, his first question is, where is the best place to buy interesting ciders online? Now, many years ago I would have said Orchard Box, but that's no longer a thing. And then there was also, oh blimey, the names just eluded me, but there was this online cider subscription service that has sadly stopped trading not too long ago, and that was a really good one to do. I mean, obviously one of the best ways to get interesting ciders online is to just go to the producer straight to their source and getting a mixed case of theirs to try out. I find that's the best way sometimes to try out a producer's range, especially if you've seen reviews and recommendations on them and you think they look really good. It's a great way to try out some range. However, if you do want to try other ciders and you don't want to do mixed cases and everything, I definitely know that the Cat and the Glass is a very good place to get some proper decent ciders from. I know a lot of guys on Untapped and everything, they get their cider sourced from the Cat and the Glass, so definitely try out that website. But again, there's also the cider subscription boxes out there, so you've got your Crafty Nectar, who curate I think 6 or 8 ciders that are all different months that send them out. Oh god, I really wish I could remember what that site was, but unfortunately it has ceased trading, unfortunately. But I have mentioned him before, but there's a Cider Hub as well. So it's not a cider subscription service, but it's a website that you can go on that lists all different producers, and then it basically takes you to their website, so you can then buy directly from there. But it's a good way to try out new producers that you probably haven't seen before, so I would say definitely give Cider Hub a go as well. So check those websites out, and you never know, you might find your new favourite cider, Neil. However, he did ask a second question, and his second question was, what's your favourite cider pub / bar in the UK? Well, that's a very broad question. There are so many good cider bars and pubs in the UK, and it all depends on where you go as well. I would say one of my favourite local pubs for cider is the Victoria Inn. There was a little spate where their ciders weren't as good. Like they used to get like Lily's, Broad Oak and stuff in. I was thinking, okay, this isn't that particularly great. But I don't know what's happened, but they've obviously like broadened their horizons again, and they've got some really decent stuff in from the likes of like Bushel and Peck. I think they've had our Big Bear cider on, which is always great. And yeah, they've just got some, and Big Nose and Beardy is, I never thought I'd see Big Nose and Beardy cider over in Colchester, but there you go. They've sourced those guys out as well. So yeah, definitely the Victoria Inn for a local cider pub. However, I think one of my favourite ones has definitely been the Apple, which is in Bristol. I mean, to be fair, Bristol is great for cider pubs and bars and everything, but I mean, the Apple is definitely one of the best locales for a cider bar, because it's literally on a boat. You are literally going onto a barge that's on the river, and you're having a pint of cider on the river. I mean, what's not to like about that? That is just such a cool place to have a cider. But the Orchard Inn in Bristol as well was amazing as well. It's probably had one of the best cider boards I've ever seen. It had something like 20 different ciders on, and they were all absolutely amazing. And it was just down this unassuming street. It looked totally like traditional from the outside, and then you go in and it's like you're stepping back in time, because it just looked so rustic and like homely, I suppose. And as I said, yeah, one of the best cider selections I've ever seen. So if you are ever around the Bristol area, I would definitely recommend checking out the Orchard Inn and the Apple. Hopefully they are still there, because they are some amazing places. So yeah, definitely check those places out. I know you didn't mention it, but cider producers, I've only had the opportunity to visit a couple, but I would definitely recommend checking out Dorset Nectar, obviously in Dorset, and Little Pomona, who are more near like the Gloucester way. Such lovely people there, and I would definitely recommend going out to their orchards and having a little tour and a little taster and everything, because yeah, it's definitely worth it. So there you go. I hope that answered your questions, Neil. And finally, Gary Gardner has asked, what cider will you not buy in a pub? My bailout pint is a Stowford Press, can't stand it. I will go as low as Thatcher's Gold, although he prefers a Haze, Thatcher's Haze. Do you know what, I'm with you on that, Gary. I do prefer Thatcher's Haze over Thatcher's Gold, which is ironic, because Thatcher's Gold used to be my favourite cider, like, ever, before I started, like, broadening my horizons and starting this channel up. It was always Thatcher's Gold that I would go to as my go-to pint. But yeah, definitely Thatcher's Haze is a lot better. It just has a nice, more refreshing, sweeter taste to it. I probably, if there was nothing else on, I probably wouldn't ever go for like dark fruits or anything like that. Definitely not Strongbow. There's so many better ciders out there than Strongbow. But I mean, if Thatcher's Gold was on and there wasn't anything else available, then I would go for it. I have seen a few Mortimer's Orchard ciders out. I can't remember if they're a byproduct of Westlands or something. I know they're from a big producer, but they make it look like a more traditional cider producer. But I mean, that's not a bad pint, to be fair. Sometimes it's been a little bit iffy, but yeah, I would say that's probably like the lowest that I would go. If there was only something like, you know, Carlsberg dark, is it Carling or Carlsberg? Carling dark fruits and like obviously Strongbow dark fruits and everything, then probably not. Although, having said that, the only Strongbow that I actually liked, didn't like, liked as much, was their Cloudy Apple, which I don't think they do anymore. So I mean, that's that out the window, isn't it? But yeah, I don't mind the Thatcher's Gold. I mean, it wouldn't be my, instant, oh yeah, I must have a pint of that. But if there's nothing else available and do fancy a cider, I'd go for that. As I said, it was my favourite cider ever, and I'd probably still rate it a 6 or a 7. It's still a fine pint, and there's definitely worse out there that you can have anyway. So, yeah, there we go. Well, that's all your questions answered, guys. So if any other guys have any more questions, then just pop them down in the comments below. I'll see if I can answer them too. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A session with me, and I will see you on the next Cider Drinker review very soon. Until then, enjoy your evening, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.